Hola mi gente, ¿cómo están? Espero que muy bien. I am pregnant. Yes, I am. And I'm very excited about it. And I will talk all about it in this video. I finished grad school. So no more grad school, no more school. I am done. I'm not going back. But I will be inserting some pictures of my graduation here. And I'm so happy that I took pictures all along this journey because I can insert them here and kind of reflect back. So, okay. So, my husband and I always knew that we wanted to have kids when I was finishing up school. So, we started trying in May. So, I had the IUD, the Paragard, the copper IUD, ever since we got married in 2020, and I knew that I wanted to take it out you know, closer to graduation. So I literally had it removed on Cinco de Mayo 2023 in Michigan, literally the weekend before we started a road trip back to California. So yeah, like I was still in school and everything, but it was my last few months of grad school. So I was like, let's start trying. You know, it could take us a few months and we'll be done with school by then. So June 20th comes along and we take a pregnancy test together, my husband and I. I always wanted to take one with him because it's just a special moment that I wanted to share with him. I didn't want to, it didn't feel right to me to take it by myself and then tell him some way. So we talked about it already, and he also wanted to find out together. So on June 20th, we took that test, and I will insert a little bit here about how that went.
I don't think that's 2 lines, Amor. It's super faint.
Even if it's faint.
Okay, it's like super duper faint.
Nobody.
Like barely visible.
Oh my god.
And this one's also super faint. Should we do the good one?
Yeah. That's 2 lines.
Mm-hmm.
It's 2 lines still.
Even if it's like...
Even if it's faint, that's still a positive.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know if it's ready yet.
Did it beep or anything? We did it!
Oh my gosh, Amor.
Yeah. It says to test again though in a couple of days.
Okay, good thing there's another one.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we did it.
We did it.
We did it. There's a baby.
We did it. So we took a little picture, a little selfie with the pregnancy test, and it came out positive right away. So it only took a month of trying. And it was just, I was in shock because I was like, maybe it'll take a few months because I had the Paragard in, and you know, my uterus isn't used to anything like being empty. Like, I don't know, but it happened really fast. So praise the Lord, I was overjoyed. We were just stoked, so happy. It's everything that we wanted. And so I guess I will go through this first trimester recap because I'm now in my second trimester. At the time of filming this, which is Wednesday, September 20th, I am 16 weeks pregnant. So I'm in my second trimester already. But I will review the first trimester right now. So June 20th, I was 3 weeks pregnant already. So that's when the hormone popped up and I started to feel, you know, different. And I did take some notes on my notes app because I knew I wanted to make this video. And 3 of pregnancy on June 20th, we found out. And I think it's because maybe we were planning this baby that I knew I was pregnant before we even took the test. So I started feeling things, you know, like I was hyper aware. Um, the first thing I noticed was shortness of breath, and then that I was peeing a lot, especially through the night. And I never pee through the night, never. But around week 3, I started peeing during the night. Um, and then I remember feeling like I don't suffer from panic attacks at all, but I would imagine this is what it feels like, because I started feeling like a rushing blood sensation, like going up to my head, and like my heart started pumping really fast. And I'm like, okay, this is different. Like I don't suffer with this ever. Um, I was also very parched in the morning, super thirsty. I noticed that my sense of smell was heightened, so I could smell what my neighbors were making for breakfast. I smelled onions everywhere. Like it was interesting. So then we go into week 4, which is the month. I started having a metallic taste in my mouth. It was slight. It wasn't like a full-on metal penny in my mouth or anything. I noticed myself getting tired. I remember on one Friday during Vespers, I was super tired. I could not keep my eyes open. Around week 4, I started getting gassy and very bloated. And then I got super, super hungry, especially at night, and in the morning. Like I woke up, I needed to eat right away because I was starving. And week 4 is when I started getting sore breasts. They started getting really sore. And I also noticed that, I mean, this is a TMI video, it's a pregnancy video, so if you're not comfortable with it, then okay, too bad. But my nipples started getting dark on week 4. And I did not know it was that early, because my sister had a baby already. She went through this, and then she noticed hers getting dark. But from what I remember, it was later on. So, but I started noticing that on week 4. This is when the constipation started to come in. It was minor, but I noticed it. I noticed a difference in my bowel movements. And then this week I really craved quinoa salad, like a lot of healthy green lemony stuff. And then this is week 5, which started on July 2nd. This is when I'm really noticing my breasts getting bigger and super sore. I was still in grad school at this time, so I cried a lot during school stress. I was also going through some internship drama, and I remember just going through it because, wow, the hormones and the school stress at the same time, it was not it. It was not it. Oh, so this is important because, so in February of this year, I started my bulking journey. Weaker body doesn't serve me anymore. At this point in February, I had lost 20 pounds that previous year, because I did gain a lot of fat over the 3 years of my marriage, the happy marriage weight. In Michigan, the food is so good too, so it was really hard to stay off. But by February, I had lost 20 pounds, but I did not prioritize protein in my diet, so I did lose a lot of potential muscle mass that I had, and I felt myself very weak. I was pretty thin. I didn't feel like I had any, you know, structure to me. So I wanted to, you know, convert my body and focus more on protein intake and lifting weights to get stronger, to build muscle mass. So that's when I started on February 2nd. And I was consistently working out or lifting weights 3 times a week during school and everything. I was still lifting weights during early pregnancy. So week 5 is when the fatigue really kicked in, and I truly felt weaker in the gym. I couldn't go as heavy as I used to, which I knew was coming. I knew that it was going to get to that point where I wasn't going to keep increasing the weight that I was lifting, just because hormones, relaxing, like your joints are looser, you're obviously more tired. So I had that in the back of my mind, like it will serve as a nice break. um, so that's when I felt myself weaker in the gym, so I had to lower the weight. I still was super hungry, and this is when I started feeling moody, a lot of mood swings. I cried a lot, majorly because of school stress. But then week 6, which was still month 2, this is when I truly noticed I was constipated for real. I was going like twice, thrice a week maybe. And this is when I started to get an aversion to proteins, like any meats, any chicken sausage, any turkey sausage, turkey bacon. And I was really bummed because, like I mentioned, I was on a bulking journey and protein was a huge part of my diet, and that was like the majority of my protein intake for breakfast. So no eggs, no sausage, no proteins, no meats. I was like, what do I eat? So this is when my protein intake started to go down. And I put here in my notes that my stomach was like a bottomless pit. I was super hungry for anything like other than proteins. At this point, I loved grapefruit with salt, like any citrus with salt, or fruit with tahini. Let's see, let's go to week 7. Exhausted, and I put napped for the first time during the day today. This is a huge deal because I was still in school, and I remember feeling super guilty that I was taking this nap because I had a lot of things to do. I had an internship to finish, I had school work to do. I can't afford to nap. And this is when I accepted the fact that I have to give myself grace, that I'm growing a life already, and that I'm going to have to take naps now because this is my new normal. I'm not as energized as I used to. So I remember crying as I was taking this nap because I felt guilty. I was like, I can't afford to do this. So I remember that first nap, and it was amazing. It was very much needed. I wrote that still can't do sausage. The extreme hunger is going away. Let's go to week 8. And I put still exhausted, had a nap after work. Cooking smells are a little gross, like it made me a little queasy. So I remember doing these weeks, week 8 and 9, I didn't cook too much. We ate out a lot. Again, giving myself grace. Super bloated, still constipated. I had mild cramps, probably because my uterus was already growing a little bit. And then this is the week that I noticed that I had vivid dreams, like super vivid, real dreams. And it felt like I was living them out in person, which is wild. And then week 9, I wrote that I was super sleepy. And then that's when I stopped taking notes because week 10 was campus week for me and graduation week that Friday. So I was going to be gone to San Jose for a whole week. And I stayed by myself at an Airbnb. And during this week, we had a 3-day exam to take. And so I was in like week 8, week 9, I was in my head thinking, am I going to be too tired to take this test? Am I going to be like vomiting, like nausea? Am I gonna even be able to take this 3-day exam? And each exam day was 5 hours long. So it was really stressing me out because I didn't know if my body could handle it. But to my surprise, I give God all the glory. I was able to do it like as if I wasn't even pregnant. I didn't feel tired. I didn't feel queasy or nausea or anything. I also did want to mention that I had no nausea or vomiting at all during this pregnancy as of yet. During the first trimester is when it usually happens, but nothing. Again, I praise the Lord for it because I love food and I can't even imagine going through that. So it's just funny because every time I tell people me or ask me how I've been feeling, I feel like they kind of expect me to say, oh, I've been feeling horrible, I've been feeling bad, I've been feeling sick. But when I tell them that I've been feeling fine, they hate me. I remember telling this lady at church that I was pregnant, and then she's like, "How are you doing with the morning sickness?" And then I'm like, "What morning sickness? I don't have that." And she's like, "Am I allowed to hate you?" um, so it's just kind of funny. Like every woman is different, for sure. And I just, again, I'm thankful that I didn't have to go through that, because that is very hard, and especially because I was still in grad school. I can't even imagine going through that and grad school at the same time. So like I was saying, week 10 was campus week, and I took the exam just fine. 12 through now, or 14, which is the end of the first trimester, I would say were perfect. They went great. It's as if I wasn't even pregnant. I was just, you know, going through the weeks, still lifting weights. The gym has been such a vital part of my pregnancy routine. It's just been the norm for me for months, ever since February, like I mentioned. And to have that stability of, you know, lifting twice or thrice a week, it just puts me in a good mental state, honestly, and it makes me feel strong. And I would love to keep training my body up until I can't anymore, to strengthen it for labor and for birth and for carrying my child, in my arms. And, you know, I want to have strong legs to carry the huge belly that I'm gonna have later on. My back, you know, everything is going to be changing, so I want to be as strong as possible for that. So now I guess I will go into the into the reactions. So the first person I told obviously was my twin sister, and I think out of all of the reactions, hers is my favorite, because she was not expecting it. Like, I wasn't here telling her, "Oh, just got my IUD out. Oh, no, we're trying." No. I told her that I was in school over there in Michigan. I was way too busy to set up an appointment to get my IUD removed. That was the last thing on my mind. And then I came back to California, and I was like, "Oh, I'm still in grad school. Like, I'm too busy to find a new doctor here." But little did she know that I had it removed in May in Michigan. So that was like the last thing on her mind too. And I told my sister when I was 5 weeks and 5 days pregnant, and I was going to be spending a lot of time with her because my husband was out on a work trip, and I knew she was gonna catch on to something because my body was already changing. I was super tired. And so I just couldn't hold it in anymore. And so she came over to work from my house one day, and at this point I didn't have an ultrasound because it was really early. My first appointment was at week 8, but this was week 5, so I just had a test that said pregnant. And for a little context of this video, I wrote a note that said, "Hola tia, can't wait to meet you in March of 2024. And then I put that note under the pregnancy test on my bathroom counter, and I made up the excuse that I wanted her to see my new decor that I got for the bathroom. And so this is where she walks in, and I will insert that video now.
Shut up. Shut up! Shut up! I'm dying. No way! When did you find out? Wait, March, wait, let me do the math. Wait, I can't even think. Lee, is this real?
Consider it 5 weeks and 5 days.
Oh my gosh! Wait, you got your IUD out? When? Dude, we have
you, because I can't suck it anymore, and my boobs are huge, and you're gonna notice. So, yeah.
No way, Oli! I can't. It's like hitting me in waves.
I know. Dude, I can't believe I kept this right for so long.
Oh my gosh.
That's the last thing you were expecting.
No. You're pregnant. Let me see.
I'm dying.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god, I'm shaking, dude.
Okay, 5 weeks. Oh my
Say hi.
So yeah, as you can see, she was caught completely off guard, and as she mentioned in the video, she didn't know when I took my IUD out. She had no idea, but it was hilarious. I love it. And then we took this picture when we were going out to get some smoothies, just, you know, a little selfie of the day we found out, or she found out. Something I do want to mention is that Bryce and Artemis, my cat and my dog, found out very early. Like, they noticed the, I guess, the extra warmth around my uterus area, and Bryce just took a nap right then and there, like a month into it. Like, he could tell that there was more blood flow in that area, and it was like perfect warm little spot for him. The next people who found out were my in-laws, and they're my husband's parents, and it cut me off. But I was saying, we had bought these bandanas that said Big Brother, or promoted to Big Brother, and then baby protection and training for Artemis. We were like, oh, this is gonna be a cute way to tell my in-laws, right? They're gonna read it and they're gonna be like, wow, you're having a baby, like, that's amazing. But that is not what happened. That is not what happened. It's so funny, this story. So my husband and I were like looking at each other and like texting back and forth in their house, like, okay, should we put the bananas on now? Should we like let them out to run around and have them read it? And he's like, yeah. So I'm like, okay. So I put the bandana on Bryce and Artemis, and then just let them be running around their house. And they weren't even doing anything. They read it, and they're like, oh, how cute, like, cute little outfit. And then I'm like, are they reading it, or are they just playing dumb? Like, I don't know what's going on here. Like, you should get the hint. So we literally had my father-in-law stop playing Tetris, because he was playing Tetris on his little game thing, and we were like, read the bandana to Artemis, the one that said baby protection and training. And he's like, oh, how cute, and then just went back to playing. And I'm like, okay, this is clearly going over their heads. They are not getting the hints. So we took it off. We took it off of both of them, and then we were like texting back and forth, my man and I, and we were like, should I just put it on the bathroom like how I did with Eve, just like on the counter? And this was the ultrasound that we had by now, so we could like actually show them. So I'm like, okay, let me just put it on the bathroom counter and just call them, you know. So I put it on the counter, and then I'm like, and then I called my mother-in-law over, and I was like, Effie, come here, there's something weird on your counter. I think I was like, there's a spider here. And then I will insert the video now, and then show you their reactions, but it was so funny.
Effie, can you come here? Effie, come here. There's something weird on the counter. There's something weird on the counter.
¿Qué tiene el counter?
gonna kill the spider, Papa?
It's a huge spider.
Call a pest control company. What?
How long? How far?
2 months.
Wow.
We figured the bandanas
Whoa.
would have been
The
enough.
bandanas it just went over your head.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
The baby in training. Oh my god.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
No, I don't want looking at the banana.
So yeah, that was their reaction. And yeah, like during that weekend we went on a hike. I was still feeling pretty good. And yeah, like, and then that next week on August 6th, my sister and I went to an NF concert. And this was insane because this was the week where I felt like really tired. And Eva snapped this picture of me sleeping before the concert, like taking a little quick nap. And it was so funny to me because that's the reality of what I was going through. It's just a funny picture. I love it. And then it was campus week that next week. So I was with my classmates all week, and they are actually the next people that found out. My whole cohort of my master's program, they found out when I was 10 weeks. And I told them on Friday morning, which was our last class of our health leadership class. And the last assignment that she had us do was to bring an artifact or like a picture, a something that kind of encapsulates your whole Masters of Public Health journey. And so I turned in this assignment and she gave me a grade, so I knew it was acceptable to bring this ultrasound to show my cohort, right? So I go up there, they call me because it was like popcorn style, and my friend called me up. So I'm like, okay, here we go. And then I will play the video here of me telling my whole cohort that I was pregnant.
The ultrasound of the fetus I'm currently carrying. 10 weeks this week. And, you're probably like, how does this relate to public health? But just going into this program, I always doubted myself. Huge episode of like imposter syndrome and like, can I really do this? Am I smart enough? And I guess I am. I'm here, and I just only hope that my future children have the same confidence, and I can instill that confidence in them to do anything that they set their mind to. So.
Yeah, so it was a very special moment. I loved hearing everyone's reactions. And then later that day was when I told my parents in person. I knew that this was something I wanted to tell them in person. I was 10 weeks already, 10 weeks pregnant, but I didn't want to do it over the phone. It's my first baby, so I just wanted for it to be special to them too. And so the way we told my parents was, we're done with the graduation, we're outside taking pictures, and I was like, hey, let's take some pictures. And then I had my sister record, and she kind of like made it seem like she was getting the picture ready. And then I pointed to my dress, and then I kind of like made it tight to my belly, and I was like, les gusta mi vestido, which means, do you like my dress in Spanish? And then I like kind of like pushed my belly out a little bit to make it bigger because I was still not showing too much. And then you will see here what happened.
Does he know?
Oh, sorry.
Yay! Okay.
so my mom literally could not stop saying, "Está embarazada, está embarazada, está embarazada." She was so shocked. And then my dad's over here like oblivious to like what was happening, but he got the hint and he was really happy. And yeah, I think I will end there. And then I will, you know, continue on for the second trimester recap in another video. But I am so glad to finally share this news. Like I said, right now I'm 17 or 16 weeks pregnant. And by the time that you see this video, I will probably be maybe 18, 19 weeks pregnant. And I don't think I mentioned it, but we are having a girl. We were 99% sure it was a boy. And when we got those results on the app, I think we were both shocked. Like my husband and I, we were shocked, and that we didn't even celebrate. We didn't smile. We didn't laugh. Because we were like 99.9% sure it was a boy, and we were calling it a boy name already that we had picked out, like getting used to it, getting used to saying it. So when we saw it was a girl, and I'm like, what? And my husband's like, it was supposed to be a boy though. But regardless, we're just so overjoyed, and it's hit us now. We've accepted it. It's a girl. It's finally settling in our brains that it's not a boy anymore. So it's been such a fun journey. I feel great. So I am so glad that my husband kind of encouraged me to document my life these days. I low-key forgot that I had a camera. To be honest with you, I forgot that I used to vlog. Like grad school just took a toll on me. I couldn't keep up, and I love doing this. Like I love documenting my life, especially now this pregnancy. I would love to look back on these videos that I'll be making, and just to see how life was back then before our first child. But I'm so happy. I'm really happy that this baby girl is growing, or seems to be growing perfectly. And I just pray that she just keeps growing perfectly until the end, you know. And I'm so excited to, you know, share the next few months with you. And I don't know if I mentioned this, but she is going to be here in March. I'm not going to say the due date because I don't want to be hyper focused on it. I don't want to be obsessive over that date. Babies come whenever they're done. Babies come whenever they want. So I'm not going to stress over that date. It's just March, like early March. That's all I'm gonna say. And we do have a name, and I don't think we'll be sharing that until she's here. But I am just so happy that this is finally happening. I've been wanting to do this, be a mom, be pregnant for maybe a year into our marriage. But then I decided to go to grad school, so there's that. But anyways, I think we can end on a little bump update. I think I will insert pictures of a bump that I've taken over the months. I have taken one every month so far, so I will insert them here. So much for watching, and I can't wait for the next video. Bye!